Good morning, broadcasters. 360 Seconds news and commentary for broadcast professionals is on the air. I'm Maria Kholodova from TKT. Let's discuss the latest technological news with our respected experts, Philip Grossman and Mary Seidler. Don't forget to give the program a like. EditShare FLEX provides a cost-effective route for editing in the cloud, remote collaborative working, and secure cloud archiving. It'll be highlighted at the MPTS Show in London on May 11th and 12th. Mary, I know you were curious about the fact that a lot of our news today has to do with the cloud. So I know that you had some questions for Philip on that.
Yeah, I did, Philip. So as you and I both noticed at NAB, it was all cloud all the time in most of the booths, especially in the West Hall. What are you finding as far as when people say, I want to go into the cloud, what challenges are they running into?
I think connectivity is the biggest one. You go from having an environment where you have 10 gig connections or multiple 1 gig connections from every desktop to an entire organization sharing a 1 gig connection to the cloud, maybe sharing a 10 gig connection. So that's sort of one of the biggest challenges. And the other one is really the identifying the total cost of ownership. I guess that's the best way to define it, although you don't own anything, is that there are so many little costs that crop up, such as your egress cost and your request cost. So that's the thing that's the most challenging for individuals trying to transition to the cloud. The cloud has, great benefits, various benefits to different companies, but you really need to identify what problem you're trying to solve instead of I got to do it in the cloud because everybody's doing it in the cloud.
Now, do you notice that a lot of broadcasters are concerned for a very practical reason? They can get things through their capital budgets, but getting it through their operating budgets is not so easy. And that's where the cloud seems to be needing to push people.
It's gone back and forth. We used to joke in my former organization that capital is free. So you want to do everything on capital. When budgets start getting constrained, you can't do capital. So sometimes it's easier to go operational. And the funny thing is, I think in 2018 or 2019, the Accounting Standards Board made some rule changes to allow you to take yearly operational budgets, like for cloud, and turn them into a capital expense, sort of giving you the best of both worlds. So it really is interesting that accounting, to your point, is sort of driving some of these decisions as opposed to truly looking at what problem you're trying to solve.
And did you have any specific thoughts? Oh, sorry.
No, let's talk about our next product.
No, I wanted to ask about your specific thoughts on the EditShare FLEX, if you had any kind of commentary on that.
Yeah, so EditShare's really been pushing. They've been a very hardware-centric on-premise solution, very software-based on their Flow product and now with their Flex product. So it's very interesting to see them moving into the cloud and providing both types of services. What'll be more interesting is how they integrate the two so that you can have a certain amount on-premise and a certain amount in the cloud, and then overall cost. And I think, again, that's the biggest issue with cloud is identifying the true cost of ownership of the solution.
Now moving on to Mo-Sys. At MPTS, Mo-Sys will demonstrate the StarTracker camera lens tracking system and highlight VP Pro XR, its LED content server solution for virtual production. What do you think are the benefits that are coming from integrating virtual production tools into broadcast environments?
So one thing is that it really it gives a lot of flexibility or choices or the ability to change quickly by using virtual productions. And Mo-Sys is one of the leaders in the camera tracking, which is the most important. You've got to know where your camera is in a 3D space. Their server is an interesting sort of role in that they're providing somewhat of a turnkey solution. In other words, it's designed specifically for this type of work, which is very demanding on a system. And they can now integrate that into their camera tracking system, making it easier for the end customer to adopt virtual productions. I mean, that was all the rage at NAB. If you didn't have a virtual production screen in your booth, you just weren't doing the right thing. So it's interesting to see, and I think you'll see more and more. It's replacing green screen, basically.
Mm-hmm. Who is this geared towards?
This is, they're really starting to focus on smaller production organizations. The costs are coming down and being simplified. You don't have to hire, 4 or 5 individual experts that can handle each individual element of the process. You can now, have sort of an integrated solution.
And Mary, I was wondering if you kind of had any specific insights on what you think that this might mean for audio, or in general, what kind of more the virtual production sphere will mean for audio.
So we're certainly seeing the lines blur between radio and television. And you're seeing more and more radio stations say, hey, we want to get video as part of our production, even though some radio announcers don't particularly like that. But it's got to be something that is simple to use and is cost effective. And there are also some podcasters. Podcasters aren't always small entities. They can be rather elaborate productions, and this would be perfect for them.
Great. Well, many thanks to our experts, Philip and Mary. See you next Monday at the same time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.